What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we are returning to Destiny 2 ahead of the weekly reset. Of course, this will be the penultimate weekly reset for 2025. Wow, time really flies when you're having fun. That's what they say anyway. And so as we head into this week of festivities, we'll round up what we need to know in relation to Destiny 2. Bungie have given a few updates regarding the Dawning, which of course is still in full swing, so we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about Renegades, the content refresh coming up for the week. Bungie have applied some additional fixes for the dungeon, on top of some which affect the Dawning, so we'll round those up because they are relevant to our content progression and things. Otherwise, we'll cover featured content, updates for the week, and a handful of other things. So, as always guys, if you enjoy this one, a rating very much helps us out on the channel. But now, wow, you can hit the jukebox, I didn't know that. Awesome. Yeah, if you enjoy the video, say something nice for the algorithm down below. I'd very much appreciate you, but now let's get into it. And so first up, in relation to the weekly reset right here for our Renegades content initially, just keep in mind, we'll get some shipments arriving here with the weekly reset if you've leveled up your factions for the week, completed all the priority contracts and that stuff, if you indeed need them, because we get a lot of drops from Renegades anyway, but there we go, that's where we'll find them as always. And in relation to the dungeon, of course, Equilibrium, with the refresh, we'll get more chances at the exotic drop, of course. We can farm legendary gear in here, so keep that in mind if you need to. And Bungie have said they resolved an issue in Equilibrium where not all feats were properly increasing reward quality or counting for triumph. So I believe if we apply 4 feats, we'll start getting very consistent tier 5 gear. And like I said, it is totally farmable. The only thing with any kind of weekly lockout is, of course, the exotic weapons. So good luck on the hunt this week if you are diving back into Equilibrium. Also bear in mind, Bungie buffed the drop rate of the Cyan Crystal for the Prexic Blade. So if you want to try and get that, we need to complete exotic contracts, which basically fall into this slot here, these 3. So the best way to try and get an exotic contract is to knock out as many of these 3 as you possibly can. Quite often, they can be completed in 1 or 2 runs. So that's where you want to focus if you're still after trying to get the Cyan Crystal. And otherwise, in the rest of the portal right here, this week we'll get a new Vanguard alert featured. So that'll mean a new quick play option, or indeed quick play reward, should we say. And there'll be a new reward for the Grandmaster Vanguard alert variant. We'll see what we get this week in terms of both the activity and the drop. Safe to say Vanguard alerts are currently the best part of the portal, I think, in most people's opinion. So keep an eye out for that at reset, and I'll keep you up to date on Tuesday. And otherwise, as we arrive here in the tower, of course, the Dawning continues this week. With it being the festive week, that makes the most sense. Bungie did say all Dawning gear drops are +1 gear tier during the event. We can also keep an eye out for rare holofoil weapons that drop at +2 gear tier alongside a piece of armor at the same tier. And of course, Dawning runs up until January 6th, so certainly worth taking advantage of in terms of drops. I'd totally forgotten that we actually get boosted tiers and things in these events, so if you are below the max power level, that will certainly be useful for getting some higher tier rewards in general. In separate news related to the Dawning, Bungie have said, we've resolved an issue with the Snowball Specialist Triumph, and the Triumph can now be progressed in Master or higher difficulty activities as intended. Otherwise, they're aware of an issue where those who purchased the Powder Blue Porcelain pack in Eververse received the Delicate Shell from the event track instead of the intended one, so players who purchase this will receive the missing item after the Dawning ends. Exact delivery date to be decided, but just something to keep in mind right there. Otherwise, at Weekly Reset, I'll keep you posted with the Eververse store, which almost certainly will be very much populated by Dawning loot once again. So good luck on the hunt for any Dawning things that you may want. I hope all your dreams come true, I guess. Another random mention here, a lot of folks have been discussing getting old portal gear. Just keep in mind, Hawthorne's engrams can result in Edge of Fate era or season drops actually happening across the board. Obviously, very minimal control over actually getting them, but nonetheless, it's a way to randomly get some drops of things that you might be missing, and Bungie have said they'll add new sources for those rewards at some point in the future. Otherwise, in terms of featured content, of course, the portal will continue to cycle with various rewards and activities. Keep in mind, we also get those bonus Dawning engrams if you do want to efficiently farm weapons and things. Otherwise, over here on Kepler for the Edge of Fate, I also have to find it in this new timeline menu. But if you still want anything in terms of Kepler rewards, the weekly missions can drop tier 5s from 350 power, I believe. So if you're hunting for anything, we can get a tier 5 drop per week If you're over that power level though, definitely just farm the sieve when it's up. As we can see, we get tier 5 gear. Or indeed, there is the loot cave that we can farm pretty efficiently as well. Otherwise, in the Legacy World tab right here, as we can see, for featured and non-featured raids, they are now completely farmable. So if there's anything you want from the older raids, we can just farm away to our heart's content for chances to get the drops. Of course, they're not tiered, but there's still plenty of good rewards in a bunch of these old raid and dungeon pieces of content, so just worth keeping in mind. And as always, we'll mention the Ascendant Challenge on the Dreaming City. This week, it should be the Keep of Owned Edges, which we can find via Harbinger Seclute, so not too difficult to get to, but if you want to run that, or need to run it, I'll run a location clip at the end of the video. And so for today, guys, that's what we have to round up. As always, I hope you found the video helpful. If you have, a rating really does help me out on the channel down below. Also be sure to get subscribed, and I'll keep you posted with everything related to the game, especially as we head into New Year. We're kind of holding out and hoping for some updates from Bungie regarding the roadmap and whatever their plans are for the future of D2. So keep it locked and loaded, and I will keep you posted as soon as I can. But if you've enjoyed the video, a rating would also very much help us out. Let us know if you're wrapping up any things in the game this week in the comments section. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I sincerely hope you have an awesome day.